Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be playing Ballads at Midnight, and I have not played this before, but all I know is that it's somewhat about a girl and a vampire. Chapter 1, Prelude to Dawn. My wrists itch. My stomach is churning and empty. My legs are sore. The swath of hemp fabric strung taut around my cheeks and tied in a knot behind my head is chafing against the corners of my mouth. There's a bitterness on my tongue. I idly, idly wonder if it's the taste of regret. My two armored escorts ride ahead of me, exchanging hushed words. I make a short, unhappy noise to contribute to the conversation. They ignore me. But are you sure, sir? Really, are you? Shouldn't we stop and make a camp first? Before sundown, sir? Pock-marked guardsman said. The younger guardsman is jittery and demanding, with a stooped posture that reminds me of a rat. His round face is marred by pockmarks and worry lines. No need. We're making good time, the old guardsman said. The other guardsman, as old and large as the cavern walls, has a deep, crusty well suited to his frame. I once saw him struggle to fit through a door. The pock-marked guard glances toward the horizon line, gritting his teeth. But, sir, the pock-marked guardsman said. The old guardsman, enough. We need to be rid of her today. Be rid of me? Like being rid of some piss-stained rug. How rude. What did I ever do to warrant such objectification? Feeling vexed, I continue to groan and yowl against the hemp between my teeth. It's inarticulate, and far from the most graceful sound I've ever made, but I make it sound increasingly urgent. Noise and more noise, the old guardsman said. One of them pulls the reins on his horse, dismounting with a dull, armored clatter, like a rattling dish cabinet. The younger one. It's the younger one. Good. He approaches me, muttering, swears as he reaches back to yank the gag from my head. What convict? What is it now? The pockmarked guardsman said. So I could say, most people buy me a drink before they bring out the gag, and then wink. You're all ingrates, you hear me? Low-browed, barbaric boneheads. The whole lot of you. What if I was... Oh, flirty. Mm. Most people most people buy me a drink before they bring out the gag. Stop it, Pock-smart guardsman said. He hisses words low under his teeth. Through the ears glow a treacherous shade of tomato red. It wasn't funny the first time, and it won't be funny the next time. There won't ever be the next time. At this rate we're going, the pock-marked guardsman said. I can say it again pretty fast, I think. Me, the prisoner said. Gods, you really haven't learned your lesson. What's wrong with you? The pock-marked guardsman said. He almost sounded as if... Wait, he almost sounds amazed. If my hands were untied, I'd twirl my wrists and do a curtsy. So instead, I sidle up to him, reaching out to brush my knuckles near his waistband. What's wrong? A waker, you know exactly what's wrong. Me, the prisoner said. I was under the impression we'd moved past ritualistic sacrification as a certification, you see. I thought we were better than all this. Yet here you knuckleheads are dragging me through the woods to feed me to a god's forsaken vampire. I stomp on a branch when I get close enough, and the ensuing crack obscures the sound as I unsheathe the dagger from his belt. I palm it under my sleeves in a quick motion, hoping the ruse goes unnoticed. The guard stumbles away from me. He draws his sword to keep me at bay, snarling. You keep away, Heteric. Don't come near me, the pock-marked guardsman said. I raised my bound wrist in front of my chest, widening my eyes to look appropriately frightened. And I still have his dagger. By the time he clambers back onto his horse, his older companion extends his arm and smacks the back of the young guardsman's head. Idiot, now we have to listen to her belly aching for the rest of the journey, the old guardsman said. Do we? The pock-marked guardsman said. The younger guard rubs his head, sounding defensive. She causes nothing but trouble. Why not slit her throat and be done with it? Let the wildlife take care of the remains, the pock-marked guardsman said. Okay, I'm gonna save it here. Yes. No, I don't want to. I don't want to overwrite it now. Then, no. Wow, there's multiple. Okay, I saved. Load. What do you want me to do? Okay. I saved it. Now I'm gonna look. Yes, there. She's cutting. Okay, there we go. Ah! The pock-marked guardsman said. The old guard hits him again. I'd find humor in this slapstick routine if they weren't discussing my imminent demise. Shush, boy! We carry Her Majesty's orders to the letter. You and I, no shortcuts, the old guardsman said. You know the severity of our laws. Upper hand practice will lose your hands, said the old guardsman said. The pockmarked guard hunches further at the shoulders. His eyes dart around like he wants to argue, but he begrudgingly clamps his mouth shut. I, on the other hand, have dogged penchant for making my observations known, and I am blessed with quick retorts. Or is it just the cost if you're like, or is it just the of cost the, or is it just cost the fingers if you're lucky? I notice our wise old man here missing a digit or two. I raise my restraints, palm wiggling my fingers. Wow, already. Yes. Okay, now we're gonna load it. So slow. I raise my restraints, palm wiggling fingers. They. Oh jeez, I accidentally skipped that, but that'll be fine. I've seen actual battlefields, harlot. Do you not like me to your crooked barling ink? The old guardsman said. Convicts, heterics, and now harlots? Wonderful. I roll my eyes and wink my nose at him. I'll bet anything that the old man is lying. Via Illuvia hasn't waged any wars in the past half-century. Furthermore, he boasted to my jailers that he has been assigned to this post for the brunt of his service to the crown. But I know better than to push my luck with him. He's more prone to violence than the other guardsmen. I used to lag behind at the start of our journey, defiant and stubborn. The old one never hesitated to yank the rope around my wrist, lurching me right into brambles and sharp stones. Defying him, I learned meant having scraped palms and knees at best. Our pace carefully slows when we cross over the mossy logs in a series of thick, tangled roots, for the horse's sake, of course, rather than mine. I work my jaw in silence for a while, keeping a measured distance behind them. My grip on the dagger is unwieldy and clumsy. Aiming it towards my bonds is trickier than I imagined. I flinch as the pointed tip jabs against my inner arm, but shoot the guards a winning smile when they turn to look at me. So good old cursed forest, eh? Save it. No. Load. Yay. Okay. Did you volunteer to escort prisoners through the lightest brush, or was it an inherited post? Father's father and such. The Pockman guard scoffs and mixes my words under his breath. Nothing to fear these old woods, alas, not if you're properly armed. Nothing but bears and wolves, the old guardsman said. People steer clear because they fear what lies in wait beyond. Surely you know that much, the old guardsman said. Mm-hmm. The men do not die. Yeah, I can't read apparently. To tell me how they were assigned to their roles. None of my business, I suppose. An overheard an overhead canopy of leaves, allowing patches of sunlight to heat my scalp and cheek. The journey has been long and exhausting, but not altogether difficult. I'd even consider it idyllic, from its perpetual backdrop of bird songs and distant running water. Any sense of leisure sink and coil at the pit of my stomach as I realize the birds have gone silent, and the sound of water has risen into a dull roar. Why are there so many saves? Wow. Any sense of leisure sinks and coils at the pit of my stomach as I realize the birds have gone silent and the sound of water has risen into a dull roar. Before us, in a murky disk of water, blemish green with algae, miles miles long, miles wide, and harrowing, uncertain depth, a jagged, sensuous estate protruding from the ground like a sword through someone's back looms across the water expanse. Not the first descriptive cat. Bleh, not the first descriptive. I can't read, I swear. I mean, I can read. Not the first descriptive it descriptive castle I've seen in my travels, but perhaps it may be my last. That's where I'll be staying then. Home sweet home. I've barely shorn through a quarter of my restraints. Even if I make a break for it now, they'd run me down on a horseback. I tried it before, back when they marched me through the greater plains. They nearly trampled me into paste. Quiet down, you sorry lass. You may wish to take this time to reconsider your last words, the old guardsman said. That's not a bad idea. I could hit you with a real zinger before I go. The old guard groans, mumbling a bitter prayer. I barely have time to hide the dagger before he dismounts and shoves me with more force than necessary. He loads me unceremoniously into a ramshackle little boat, leaving the Pockman guard to deal with me while he tends to the horses. My breath catches when the remaining guard takes the seat opposite to me. His gawky movements nearly make the boat capsize before we've even left the shores. The boat cuts through the algae like a knife. Over on dry land, the The old guardsman takes a heavy seat in the grass as he watches the sun descend. It's a more serene view than he deserves. I take a deep breath and open my mouth to shout. Ooh. Overgrown prude. Fern. The young guard bites back a chuckle and clears his throat. I suppose he's fair to find rivalry now that we're a safe distance away. As I wearily crane my neck around, I observe how the water completely surrounds the estate. That makes this a moat, but their curiosity isn't a drawbridge in sight. At its northeast and westward edges, the moat connects to a river. Following one side will likely lead one straight to the Rubiffian Ocean. It's quite lovely. It's quite lovely to be surrounded by such a wealth of natural water. Shame I never learned how to swim. I don't suppose I persuade you to ferry me over yonder, all the way around the estate, on the other side of the shore? The guard elects not to reply. He won't even look at me now. Aside from the oars carving through the water, the remaining boat ride is a hushed and nerve-wracking. I sit up straight and stock still, trying to keep my weight centered, despite the stinging insects nipping at my neck and ankles. The sun turns red as it dips closer to the horizon. Okay, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Could we actually take a minute though to look at how pretty she is? Do you see that? She's really pretty. Like, honestly, look at that. It, hear me out. She's pretty, okay? Okay. It takes half an hour to reach the other side, if not longer. Beyond the lip of the water is a carved ledge with a pit of trenches surrounded the estate's perimeter. The guard wastes no time forcing me right up and pushing me off to the side. Wait, oh wait, oh jeez, hold on. I ain't almost, yeah. Seriously, when isn't gonna be allow me to play, honestly. No. The guards waste no time forcing me upright and pushing me off to the side. I fall into a roll barely cushioned by the impact of the grassy mud. I aim myself back up with effort, ready to yell the insult boiling at the tip of my tongue. To my surprise, the young guard is still up there, lingering at the edge. I could say, "Miss me already." Your hesitating doesn't make you any better than "Miss me already." Miss me already. I quick, I quirk my head to the side and bat my eyelashes at him. His response is slow and deliberate. "I won't even remember you by tomorrow," the said. The pockmarked guard said. "I hardly know you, convict, and you don't even know my name," the pockmarked guardsman said. "Who needs names? We are two ships passing in the night, you and I. And it's not too late to change that. We can still run off into the sunset together. Come on, help me up." With the sun setting behind. Oh, Silver do always make fun of the guards. Oh, okay. The sun setting behind the guardsman, his features are cast in an unreadable shadow. His fingers twitch, sad, and tap at his sides. He casts an uneasy glance over his shoulder behind before finally he grumbles and rummages through his overcoat. From it he pulls out the neck of a familiar instrument, throws it to me onto the ground with me. I cry out as my lute lands in the mud, nearly falling onto my own shoulder as I reach and fail to catch it. "You'll owe me in your next life, convict. I hope this occur first thing provides you with some comfort in your final moments, the pockmarked guardsman stated. I glare up at him. Old guy, made you nervous, didn't he? All that talking about cutting off hands for being underhanded. Shut up, the pockmarked guardsman said. I know you were acting jumpy for a reason. I just knew it. You were going to pawn off my poor little beauty here, but now you don't want to risk getting caught with it. Okay, everyone, I think I'm going to end it here. I guess that was just me reading, but I hope you have a wonderful day. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope I see you guys for the next one.